Oh, this is my family wall.
Betty Tisdale's home overflows with pictures of her travels.
Oh, this is me in Saudi Arabia.
But there was one particular trip nearly 40 years ago that changed her life forever, and many others. She was so moved after reading about an American doctor in Vietnam working with war orphans that she went to Saigon.
And I saw the babies in rusty cribs, in hammocks made of rags strung between the cribs, and their bony little arms and legs just lying there, no one picking them up. And I knew that my life had changed.
As the Vietnam War dragged on, Betty traveled back and forth.
They would find babies every day at the gates of the orphanage, and children standing there that were abandoned or their parents had been killed. They became my children.
As Betty mothered children in Vietnam, her husband cared for their 5 boys back home, and their own family grew. They adopted 5 girls from the orphanage. Betty was back in America when Saigon began to fall. People were desperate to get out, and Betty was desperate to get in.
There was no way that I was going to allow my children, you might say, to grow up under communism. I decided at the beginning of April that I was going to bring the whole orphanage back to the States.
The South Vietnamese government would not release any child without certain documents that weren't available. So Betty fabricated what was needed for every child.
You know, I just got some blank birth certificates from the hospital, and we filled them out as best we could.
And kept pestering the American ambassador to help get the orphans out.
And he said, okay, Betty, we've got 2 planes for you. Be ready to leave at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning.
1 week later, Saigon fell. But 219 children were safely in the U.S., with American families waiting to adopt them. The children grew up and reunited from around the country to honor the woman who gave them a future.
And what better person than a woman who probably saved me from certain destitution, prostitution, or even death?
They thanked Betty for giving them a chance at a life filled with ballet lessons, Disneyland, families of their own.
Most people are kind of given one chance, they're born once, and that's their lives. And I think that we're very fortunate, and others like us are very fortunate that because of Betty, we were given 2.
With grandkids on her lap now and laughter in her kitchen.
Family, family, family. It's wonderful.
Betty Tisdale ended up surrounded by love. More than 200 people have stayed in her life because when they most needed someone to change the world, she did.